Santa Marta, Colombia is a city that doesn't get as much attention as Medellin, Bogota, Cartagena, or even other cities such as Cali or Barranquilla. But it does have some serious appeal. From beautiful beaches to low cost of living to a laid back Caribbean vibe, it might be worth you checking out. So in this video, I'm gonna share my honest impressions of Santa Marta after spending some time here to see if this place would make sense for you for maybe a short visit or could be an extended period of time. Hey guys, if you're new here, I'm Alex, and on this channel, I share everything I've learned about leaving the West and creating an ideal life in Latin America. So if that sounds interesting to you, be sure to subscribe. Now let's get into the video. So here's what I'm gonna cover in today's video. We're gonna go into cost of living, how much does it cost to live here, where to stay, best neighborhoods in Santa Marta, Colombia, if you're an expat, traveler, retiree. Safety, is this a safe place to live? My honest thoughts there. Weather, what that's like, what's dating like if you're a man, and final verdict, how long would I stay here? Would I come back? Or just more of a place to like vacation or visit or to live long term? Let's dive in. Cost of living for Santa Marta, Colombia. I'd say it's definitely one of the more affordable cities in Colombia, but just like anywhere else, it's going to depend on your cost of living, your style of living, what you're willing to tolerate in terms of like apartments and everything in between, right? You can definitely spend a good amount here. You can definitely spend a low amount here. So I'd say if you're staying in the nicer areas, let me just show you a map of what areas I'm talking about. So we have Parque de Novios. I stayed around here. This is more the central area, kind of touristy as well. You also have Rodadeo, which is around here, also pretty touristy. And then you have this area here, which I'm not sure what you call this area, but this is more private and more exclusive, I felt. All right. And then you also have Taganga right up here, which is kind of more of a laid back Caribbean lifestyle. So if you're living in any of these places in a nice apartment, let me just show you, you're probably spending around $700 to $1,300 a month, right? Depending on the number of bedrooms, depending on how modern and luxury it is. There are some brand new buildings here that are really nice. So obviously those are going to be on the higher end. But that's just to give you an idea as far as apartments. Let me show you the one that I stayed at. So this is near the more exclusive area. You can see the airport here. This area here is pretty private. It's pretty exclusive. Let's see what it's going for now. So if we were to do a rental from BAM, we'll do a monthly. You can see here, like this is going for $1,600 a month, okay? Now I think I can get this down to maybe $1,300 around there. But again, this is on the higher end. All right. And let's just look at this apartment here. So again, this is more of an exclusive area. It's pretty private. I wouldn't want to live here in this neighborhood long term just because there's not much around it. Like there are some restaurants, there are some coffee shops. It's a nice place. It's got a nice view. It's right on the beach. I'll show you some B-roll of this place as well. But honestly, after like a couple weeks, there's really not much to do. So this is definitely more of a vacation, in my opinion. But hopefully that gives you an idea as far as like what you can expect to pay in rent, high end or low end as well. You can definitely, let me show you another tip here. So if we just type in Santa Marta, Colombia, we go flexible, we go monthly. Always look at the range of what you can get in a city. So I just gave you the neighborhoods. Most people stay around here or here, Rodadeo. Let's look at Rodadeo. So we go entire home. Let's just we wanna find the range. So watch this. Like if I do maximum 1,000, let's do maximum 1,000 to 400. You can see here where it is, and then if I show, but if I do it again, it changes. All right. So you need to do it twice for whatever reason. I don't know if it's just me, but you got to do it twice to really get the accurate range. And look at this. So this is on the lower end. If you want to be more of the median or average, you got to pay around here for this area, okay? It's probably a little cheaper maybe in Centro. You definitely have more options here, and it is. So you can see here from 1,200, but this is going to give you an idea as far as like what range. You can go very high end, obviously. But again, back to the numbers, you're looking at around 7 to 13. For a mid-range apartment, closer to about 500 to 900. If you want to live like a local, then 300 to 600. Food here is relatively affordable. Restaurants can go for, I'd even say $40 or more because this is a touristy place. It's not as bad as Cartagena. I'd say Santa Marta is more of where the local Colombians go to vacation, and then Cartagena is more where like the entire world goes to vacation, right? So food is relatively affordable. Transportation's pretty affordable, just like the entire country, right? You will need taxis here, in my opinion, because like, well, if you're in this zone here, you do have everything that you need close by, but it's pretty small. Like once you get outside of this, there's really nothing to do out here. Same thing with Taganga. It's pretty small. Like I said, it's pretty laid back, more Caribbean vibe, in my opinion. A lot of like seafood restaurants around this area. You got some boats you can go out. I'll probably share some video footage of this as well. Really cool place to spend some time, but after a little while, there's really not much to do. And this is really probably the most popular area, I'd say, where most of the tourism is. It gets really busy around here. And then you have the more private area, which I mentioned is right around this beach here, Playa Bello Horizonte, which I liked. I prefer, if I'm on a vacation, I'd probably stay in this area here. All right, so overall, you can live in Santa Marta for about 1,000, 1,500 a month. If you're living here long term, you're not going to be going out to eat every day. Obviously, you're not going to have much social life, most likely. If you want to live more like a king here, you'll probably spend somewhere around 2,500, maybe a little more. To live right on the beach, walking distance from the beach, living a comfortable life, eating out, and basically all the bells and whistles, right? All right, so where to stay in Santa Marta? Best areas, I kind of alluded to some of them here, but you're going to want to stay in either Rodadeo, El Centro, or near Parque de Novios, or Playa Horizonte, or even Taganga. All right, I showed you these four here. But so this here is Playa Bello Horizonte. Again, this is going to be more exclusive, more private, like beautiful beaches, nice white sand, not as crowded, not as packed with tourists. So this is more of an exclusive, nicer area. I feel like you might be paying a little more to be around this part. And then if we move up, you have Rodadeo. This is where a lot of the local Colombians in the country come to vacation. All right, so this is going to be packed. These beaches are going to be very packed. A lot of good restaurants, a lot of good seafood around here as well. And then you also have Parque de Novios, again, to tourism, a lot of good restaurants. This is more of the nightlife area, I'd say. You get a lot of bars, you get some clubs, you get a lot of music in this area here. And again, these beaches are pretty packed. Not as nice, I believe, as here, and especially here. Those are where the nicer beaches are. And then up here, you get more like a backpacker vibe, I feel. More like Western tourism come up here. A lot of hostels, I felt, around here. A lot of nice beaches here too, but super packed. Super packed, a lot of good seafood restaurants. So those are really your options. I recommend checking out all four of them. Spend a little time in each one, see which one you vibe with the most. As far as neighborhoods, I also mentioned Minca, which is a little further out. I didn't have the opportunity to go to Minca, but a lot of people do end up checking out Minca because it's not that far from the beach, right? Like you're bam. I'm not sure exactly. It might be a couple hours or something like that, maybe even more. But this is more of a getaway, more of you see waterfalls, more nature, right? Just away from the beach. Good to check out maybe for a weekend or a day to go to Minca. But Santa Marta, Minca is not Santa Marta. Santa Marta are the four locations that I just basically mentioned. So if I were to stay here, I would pick, I'd probably pick, it's a good question. I'm torn between Rodadeo or Parque de Novios. I'd probably spend some time in all of them, to be honest. But if I wanted more exclusive, if I wanted to be more exclusive, not be around a bunch of tourists, which I think is good. Like if you were to go with your girl, maybe you want to spend time in Bello Horizonte, like live there where it's chill and relaxed and there's not a lot of people on the beach. You pretty much have a lot of the beach to yourself, which is awesome. And then when you're ready to like go out to eat or go out at night, then you can go to Parque de Novios, you can go to Rodadeo, or you can even go to Taganga for like good seafood. So that's how I would do it. I would stay. And just to clarify, I would stay, let's see, where's the airport? Airport's down here. I would stay around here to be chill and exclusive and quiet and have the beaches to myself, more or less. And then I would come here for restaurants, or if I wanted to be around people, if I wanted to socialize, I would come here for nightlife, go to any clubs, go out to drink maybe. And then Taganga is a good day trip. A lot of boats out here, and I'd probably do it that way. So safety in Santa Marta. All right, Santa Marta is not that safe of a place. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. So there were times I might have some B-roll of me running along. So again, I stayed around here, and I would basically run all along this coast. There's like a path that you can run, and it takes you all the way to the airport and then back. Right? It's a good run. It's a great run. It's a nice view. You literally see like planes taking off. You come back, you see the beach. It's a beautiful run. But the people at the hotel were telling me not to do that because it was too dangerous, right? Like literally a path for me to run, but it's just too dangerous to do it. Now, I feel comfortable wherever I go. I've done videos on that. But from what the people were telling me at the apartment building / hotel, my Airbnb, again, safety there, they told me to be really careful there. So you do want to be careful. There is a petty theft that goes on. There are some, quite a bit of homelessness that you'll see. But I felt safe, but you just want to keep your guard up, especially at night. Don't go into places where you're like the only one walking, right, at night, or even during the day. Like if you're going, like I said, going down these paths where there's no one else around, like those are times you might want to be careful. And guys, if you're going outside of the areas that I told you about, then you got to keep your guard up. There's no reason for you to go outside those areas, to be honest. Like anything outside of those areas, it gets pretty sketchy, okay? So Santa Marta is pretty, it can be dangerous, but if you're staying in the zones that I told you, if you don't leave there, if you use Ubers at night, then there should be no problem. One thing I'll say, if you're staying at Parque de Novios, like once you're getting outside the beach area, then it does get a little sketchy, okay? So at night, it'll get pretty lonely. People here call it solo, como no andes solo. You want to be careful walking alone at night in the centro specifically. So just to summarize with safety, because this is an important topic for Santa Marta, I personally did not feel unsafe. Like I said, I'm the type I'll go running on my own. I don't care. I like to experience the city. I like to get a feel for it. But you want to be aware of your surroundings here. As long as you take normal precautions, avoid sketchy areas, not be by yourself, right? Like at night, be around other people, be around other expats. Just use common sense, guys, and you'll be all right. So dating scene in Santa Marta. Now, Santa Marta is a pretty small city. Let's look at the population real quick. Santa Marta population. So look, yeah, it's about 500,000 people, which is pretty small, right? For a city, in my opinion. Like if you're going to be dating in a city, if you want to meet people, my recommendation is at least 1 million population. So Santa Marta is a pretty small city. There's not a lot of options, in my opinion. Santa Marta is more of you'll meet other people vacation in there, whether it's other Colombians, right? Vacation in there. You could maybe at the beach, during the daytime, in Rodadeo, or maybe it's near Centro Parque de Novios at night, for like a discoteca or a bar or a restaurant. You'll meet other people vacation in there as well. Could be Colombians, could be other Westerners, could be other expats vacation in there too. It's more of that type of a vibe. It's very different than the other cities in Colombia. So for that reason, I didn't have much dating experience here. I spent about a week in total in Santa Marta. So for that reason, I don't have a lot to add here when it comes to the local dating scene. It was more of a vacation type thing. All right, now weather here is hot and it's humid. How do I explain this? So I'm currently in Paraguay right now. And Paraguay, they say, is brutal during the summertime. It gets over 100 degrees. But it wasn't that bad, to be honest with you. Like I even run in 40 degrees Celsius or over 100 degree weather in some of these parks here in Asunción. And I don't really, it's not something I'll complain about, but Santa Marta gets pretty freaking hot and humid. Right? I feel it's even hotter than Asunción. Temperatures get well over 95, even 100, but it's pretty humid here, which makes it feel a lot hotter than it is. Okay, so for me, there's no way I can spend a lot of time here because of the weather. I can tolerate heat. Santa Marta is probably the hottest climate I've been to, so just keep that in mind. Now, the best thing about Santa Marta is you are right on the ocean, so you do have the breeze. At night, it can cool down a little bit, but if you're not used to heat, if you're someone who prefers cold weather, you're not going to want to spend a lot of time in Santa Marta. So final verdict, would I live in Santa Marta? After spending some time here, I mean, the short answer is definitely not long-term, but absolutely short-term. This is a great place to get away from the city. Maybe you're based in, or maybe you spend a lot of time in Medellin or Cali or Bogota or even Barranquilla or Pereira, right? Bucaramanga is becoming a little more popular now. And you want to get away from, well, let's take out Cartagena, right? Because those other cities that I mentioned don't have a beach. So if you want to see the ocean, if you want to dive, if you want to put your feet in the sand, if you want to get out of the city, then Santa Marta is a great place to spend maybe a week, even a long weekend. But I think more of a week would be ideal because the food is really good too. They have really good seafood, really nice views, right? You can take a lancho out on the boat. Really good experience to get out the city. So for me, the heat is intense. The dating scene and social life is limited compared to the other cities I mentioned. It's not as well developed as a Medellin or Bogota in terms of infrastructure. I felt it is more dangerous than the other cities I mentioned. So for those reasons, I'd probably visit for, I'd say 1 week, maybe a few days to a week max. When it's not peak season, I can hit the beach so that I can eat some good seafood, so I can get away, escape, reset, and have that type of a vibe in Santa Marta. Definitely not a place I would stay short term or long term or have it as a base. It's more of a vacation spot for a week max, my opinion. All right, so I hope that was helpful. Once again, Santa Marta might be a spot that you want to check out eventually. But in the beginning, if you're new to travel, I would suggest checking out maybe Medellin, which I did a 6-month video on, which I did a 6-month review on to get started. You can also visit Cali, Colombia, which I've done videos on. But if you want to be on the beach, if you love the ocean, I'm someone who loves the ocean, I'm from Boston, then definitely check it out. Maybe book a week, maybe 2 weeks max in this place and see if it's for you. If you want to see more content like this specific to cities in Latin America, be sure to subscribe. If you found this video valuable, give it a like. Thank you so much for watching and look out for the next video.